up, guys? I hope you're all having a great summer. It is time to take the GT550 two-stroke triple on a 0 to 60 mile per hour test. I'm super excited to see what this thing can do. It's got a lot of low-end torque. It's a really fast bike, so I think it's going to do great. But first, we've got to fill it back up with oil because I had a big oil leak. And I fixed it in the last video, so check that out. I fixed a ton of problems with this bike and I'm getting ready to give it back to the owner, but first I'm gonna have a little fun with it. This time I've got a little piece of wood under the kickstand to level the bike out more so that I have an accurate oil level reading that you remove, and once oil starts leaking out of that hole, that is when it's at the correct level. Fill her up. Well, now we can put this guy back in. Might as well dump the rest of this end because I don't even have a two-stroke bike, so you can just give it away with the bike. 3/4 full now. Okay guys, today is the day. I have to give this bike back to Tim tomorrow. Today's the last day to do any more testing with it, make sure everything is running correctly. So of course, I am gonna go and find out how fast this thing can do 0 to 60 miles an hour. So, let's go. Man, bike starts up so easily now with that electric start. It's running beautifully. I've got just some more straight gas in the tank, so we should have a good run here, guys. She's ready for a 0 to 60 test, but man, am I a little scared because the tires on this thing are dry rotted, and this thing like shakes a lot. It has like a death wobble. Someone commented in one of the videos, do not hit the throttle in a turn because this bike has like a flexible frame. I don't really know what that means, but it definitely doesn't have great frame geometry. It definitely gets shaky when you're turning, going fast, any kind of speed. Thankfully, we're just gonna be doing straight line 0 to 60 tests here. All right, we're coming up on our first 0 to 60 spot here. This one's slightly uphill, so it's not like a great spot, but it'll give us an idea what we're running. All right, here we go. 1, 2. 60. Still bogging out a little bit in the upper end, so hopefully that'll clear up with these next tests. This guy's definitely gonna say something. Alright, one more run. This bike's starting to sound a little funny here. Alright guys, I think we're done here. Overall, the bike is running great. It did really well. I think it's ready to go back to its owner. Electric start's not working. That's weird. Starter solenoid might have just went. Cheap Amazon one. We'll have to figure that out when we get home. Good thing this thing's got a Kickstarter. Man, I wish all modern bikes would keep the Kickstarter because it comes in handy so many times. Alright, let's get home. This thing is fun. Pretty quick 0 to 60 time, not exactly as quick as I was hoping for. In conclusion, the GT550 performed exactly as it should have. With an average 0 to 60 time of 6.2 seconds, it was only 0.4 of a second slower than the claimed 0 to 60 time. Not bad for a bike that was sitting for 30 years and has around 16,000 miles on the odometer. This is, I think, the last time I will probably ever ride this death machine of a bike, so I don't want it to go bad. I've already tested my luck quite a bit here, guys. I think I'm gonna just take it easy on the way home. Nice little cruise. I do want to do possibly one more 0 to 60 run. This one's gonna be slightly downhill just to give the bike a little bit of an edge, because it is, you know, like 50, 60 years old, so it needs some help, guys. It's slight downhill. Here we go. 3, 2. You know, after like the second ride I had on this bike, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get one of these. It's so much fun. But after riding it some more, I kind of changed my mind a little bit, just because it is not fun just putting around on this thing. It's only fun to go fast on it. Like cruising around, it vibrates a lot. It's just kind of jugs around, and it doesn't really feel good until you start to get into the power band. So it's just honestly not that practical of a bike, and that's because it's not great for commute. I mean, you could commute on it, definitely, but I think where it shines is like track days, maybe riding around, having fun, maybe even going to like some car cruises, classic bike shows, stuff like that. And I'm sure that's what people do with them, but just day-to-day riding, which is the only reason I can justify to myself and especially my girlfriend for me to get another bike. Maybe someday when I can have more of a collection, I could definitely see myself getting one of these bikes. 'Cause it's a lot of fun. And it would be fun to take out Sunday Fun Day bike. But Monday ride to work bike, I don't know. That's pushing it. Man, I'm really testing these brakes. Alright, that's the last burnout ever on this bike for me. Hopefully Tim or Andrew will do the next ones, because I'm about done with it. I had my fun. Well, let's see, let's see if the electric start is... Nope. So yeah, something happened. I'm gonna have to look into this. Well, I just put the old starter solenoid back on, and let's see if it does the same thing. Yep. It's not the starter solenoid. The next thing to test is the starter motor itself. So I pulled off the cover, ran a multimeter to the positive wire on that starter motor, ground to the Kickstarter, and as you can see, and there is plenty of volts going to that starter motor. So it's either the starter motor itself or the starter clutch, and there is messed up. Either way, not really something I want to be messing with. Guys, I wanted to see if I could kind of pull the starter motor out a little bit and see if it will spin without anything on it, on the gear, like free-loaded spinning. It's not in there all the way, still clicking. So I'm thinking now that the starter motor is toast, which is good, I guess. I mean, it seems like the starter clutch is okay, or maybe that went and then the starter motor went after the starter clutch. I don't even know. Once I pulled the starter motor out a little bit, oil came out all over the ground and made a huge mess. So yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. Not going that good.